Welcome to the No Huddle Football Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Along with me, as always, Ryan. What's going on, man?
Not too much, man. Had a pretty good weekend. How about yourself?
It was all right. Pretty good. Stayed busy this weekend.
Yeah, I had a rare
Start.
trifecta of wins.
Yeah.
Michigan won, the Brownies won, and I have become the reigning, defending Brother Bowl champion yet
There
again.
it is.
There's also been
Yet
a
again.
graphical update. I have corrected yours to a two-time champion. I'll give you that respect. And mine is five,
Yep.
obviously way more important, but you can see that there. Once again retained, but I will not make the playoffs, so you cannot take this from me. So, on you.
Exactly. That was an interesting strategy you had this year. Come in, snake the win in week 10, and then make sure you. So basically, what happened to me last year is I won in the regular season, then you came and took it from me in the playoffs.
Yep, 100%.
As always, a playoff victory is more important than regular season. And this year, you went in with a bold strategy: tank the whole year, week 10, show out, get the dub, and then bow out. Now you can successfully retain it for another year.
I believe I tipped my cards to you early on in the season on the show when I said such a thing, where I said, I'm just going to do shitty, and then once I beat you, I'm just going to fucking, I don't care.
There you go. Mail it in. That's it. That was your Super Bowl right there. You got it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a literal trophy. Where'd it go? Right here. Literal trophy. So, yes, it is a Super Bowl.
There it is. So we'll start things off today. More trouble in New England. Gosh, did you watch that game against the Colts?
I mean, no.
No,
I had it on the TV. I was doing something else on the computer. Every time I looked over, I'm like, there's nothing's happening.
nothing was happening. Yeah, I watched that game just for the sake of fantasy football.
Sure.
The fact that I had Stevenson in that game, and me and Josh were talking before the game, and I said, "Here's the thing." I said, "Every time I play Stevenson this year, he does shit. Like if you go back and look at his game log, you can see where it matches up exactly to all the weeks that I played him. Because when I play him, he gets about 3 to 4 points. When I bench him, he gets 15 to 25 points. So me and Josh had this thing going this week, and we said, "All right, let's see what happens." He said that he was going up against Stevenson in a very important league. He's in like 20 different leagues, but this one was really important for him. So he's like, this is the one that actually matters. He goes, so don't worry. Stevenson's going to go off today. He is going to go nuts. He's going to have a career day for you. I said, no, because when I start him, he has a shit day. I said, all right, well, we've got ourselves a matchup of the unstoppable force and the immovable object. Let's see which side, which side prevails out of the two of us. And then I thought it was funny because Stevenson was projected a modest 11 points, and that's what he got. So on the week in which he was going against him, I was starting him again. He didn't go crazy like Josh thought. He wasn't a complete dud. It was right in the middle. I said, we've balanced the fantasy world right here with Stevenson. We figured out how to balance it here. But the Patriots, they are now 2-8. Very unfamiliar territory for them in the last over 20 years now.
Yeah.
Um, Lots of people getting restless. Of course, the rumors starting up. Maybe it's time already to move on from Bill Belichick. Thank you for your service, for all your time, all your championships. But it's like without Brady, it's not going to happen again. They keep missing on all these draft picks, which I think was excused a lot because you had Brady and he could make average people look pretty good. But I guess that's the question we have to start off with. Did Bill make Tom look really good, or did Tom make Bill look really good? Because that was going to be the big question when they separated. Who was going to go on and be more successful? I think 3 years removed, it looks pretty obvious to me. Does it look obvious to you?
I mean, at the beginning, I would say it was more of a balance between the two. I think Tom Brady was so willing to do what was asked of him for Bill Belichick and use his strengths, which at Michigan he was just very consistent. So like that's all Bill Belichick wanted him to do. So that's why everyone gets mad. Like all these dump off passes, all these screens, whatever you want to call it. Like that's what makes him successful is the fact that it's like, oh shit, I can't throw it long. I can't run by any means. Boop, right here. I know this guy's open. And I think he did that so many times of what was asked of him and his passion and his drive to always better himself to further his game. I think he then widened the gap between him and Belichick. And I think inevitably the last Super Bowls, the last 3 or 4 for him, honestly, were all him. He was the key reason.
Yeah, and I think we can. So Bill made him in the beginning, helped him get to where he was at. But I feel like now the legacy looking back is going to be it was Tom that was more so the one responsible for those wins. Yes, he put together some decent teams. He put together some good. He's a good defensive coach, but I mean, we can even just look to 2020 when Brady left, instant Super Bowl, and then Belichick now has just been completely struggling. So it just looks like it was definitely Brady.
Yeah, and I think that's another part of it is like how you said whenever he came here to Tampa and won. I think a lot of it is not necessarily I think there's a good portion of it. I'll say that's also not necessarily a on the field thing. I think people just really fucking like Tom Brady. They want to play for fucking Tom Brady. They want to win with Tom Brady. They want to be able to look at a poster and tell tell their child like, look, I won this championship with fucking Tom Brady, dude. Like the guy that you see fucking everywhere. I was there. And that's what they want to be on the field with him. Randy Moss said, like, I'll play hurt for that dude. Like, it's more than on the field. Like, people really liked him. So on the field, it's like, all right, we're going to do what Tom says because he's obviously very successful. And I think that's why he widened that gap.
Yeah, and I definitely think that contributes to it when you have a player like him, probably now. I'm sure we'll see in the next handful of years with Patrick Mahomes, people that want to go play with him. They want to go catch a pass from him. That's a good souvenir ball. You don't necessarily, I guess, maybe keep a souvenir ball because of who the coach was. You're going to keep it because of maybe if it was either a milestone, play, or if it was, you caught a pass from somebody in particular. So, but the stat we were talking about, I didn't have it in front of me pre-show, but I have it now. It says Tom Brady's career at Gillette Stadium, he had a record of 89-13. Right now, Mac Jones has a record of 8-13. It took him 81 less games to hit the same number of losses as Tom had over the last 20 years at home.
So figuratively, it's like he'll have to win out his career to match.
He'll have to go. He'll have
he could never better.
No, he could never be better at this point, unless he were to get a 90th win, 90-13. But
doubt.
But yeah. So he's got to win 81 straight game. The next 81 home games to tie.
Those would be some very happy Patriots, at least home games.
Yes. Yeah, imagine the next 81 games you
guaranteed
at home. Yeah. So I think for sure they're definitely going to move on from him.
Yeah.
I know everyone was I remember the hype coming out. Oh, it's from Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. They must talk to each other because they're the two powerhouse coaches and they must know something about this Mac Jones. He's the next, they were already crowning him the next Brady before he took a snap. And that was wrong. I think they were just excited. They just really wanted the next Brady really bad.
And I think that's also a fault of Bill Belichick. Is yes, he got right on Brady. Yes, he got right on other people. But those other people may have been elevated by Tom Brady, but who's to say? But just because you gambled one time, my guy, does not mean it's a winning formula, dude.
Yes.
You're lucky.
Notorious for,
lucky.
Just really notorious for taking some questionable people in the draft. What was it? Was it the 2020, 2021 draft? I was looking at some graphic. Whenever they took N'Keal Harry.
It's strange.
When was that? A few years ago?
It comes 2-3 years ago. Maybe more.
Yeah, what draft was he in? Whatever draft he was in, 2020. It's like a bunch of other really good receivers taken after him.
It was DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. There's a shitload of really good receivers.
it's like, are they trying too hard to like pick these people out of left
Yes,
field to like look good or something? Or
100%.
like, uh,
And then Nikhil
let's see
Harry
if he
was
was
like
here.
is one of the odder ones.
Yeah, I don't see him here.
But
But
then, but
anyways, so
you get the times whenever you take the Kent State quarterback named Julian Edelman and turn him into a wide receiver, and then he helps you to 3 Super Bowls.
yeah, exactly. But it's like don't bank everything on that though. Don't keep trying to do these out of left field picks and hope
Ego.
that they work out.
Yeah.
So, but moving on to a more successful quarterback from this weekend, we had the return of Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
That was, I was watching that game on Red Zone. Very close. There was a lot of close games this week. There wasn't on paper a lot of exciting games, but it ended up being a week of very exciting games, very back and forth games.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyler came back. He had his game-winning drive. Looked really good. Looked like he's back. And also another thing too, we all thought that the Cardinals were going to tank, and there's always talk of that. But you got to remember when it's stuff like Kyler coming back, Kyler doesn't want to tank.
Yeah.
Because that means he might be out of a job. He
Or
needs
money.
to get them away from, yeah. But like he needs to get them away from those first few picks. He wants those franchise quarterbacks, I imagine, to be off the board by the time the Cardinals are picking. It's some job security there.
Yeah.
So he went 19 of 32, 249, no touchdowns, 1 interception, but he did have the rushing touchdown. So a little bit of rust there, but overall pretty good against a pretty good Falcons defense, maybe an underrated Falcons defense.
Yeah, so they're not bad. It was funny seeing Kyler Murray back out there because he definitely just looks like a toddler running around out there. It was too funny every single time. Like, God, he's so small. I keep forgetting. Like, obviously, no disrespect to the man. He's a professional player, but still, like, compared to like those linemen who are like 6'8", like, bro,
Yeah,
little guy. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to tank either if I was a quarterback, especially like if I was a young quarterback. If I was like an older guy, I'd be like, yeah, dude, fuck it, I don't care. Like, just keep me around as on the backup at least.
hold some clipboards and yeah. But for him, is this? I don't know. Is he still playing on his rookie contract, or did he already resign?
I think he got an extension, like a stupid extension, right? Like two years ago. I think it was last year. And then he immediately got hurt, so he's like, bag secured, dude. Yeah, it was the Achilles injury that he just came back from. I believe he signed at the beginning of the year, and then they sucked, of course. And then he just came back. Maybe Murr got him into it. Maybe Murr's like, hey, dude, the Impractical Joker's success rides on this very long joke that I need you to succeed on.
Let's go coach a team. Tank.
Yeah, coach a team to a dynasty.
Fuck. Yes. Looking at their schedule coming up, the Cardinals got to face the Red Hot Texans.
Yeah.
They got to host the Rams, go against the surprisingly, I don't want to say good, but good record of the Steelers.
Yeah.
Tough game against the 49ers. You got the Bears on the road, Eagles on the road, and Cardinals. So I don't know. That's some tough games ahead for them.
Yeah, probably gonna do pretty bad. They'll probably get those high draft picks like they wanted, but hopefully maybe some help for Kyler Murray or a booster seat. I don't know. A stool.
That's 5 out of their last 7 games are against teams with winning records. Maybe if they're high up there, maybe they go get Marvin Harrison Jr. because they just lost D-Hop. So maybe go get him.
Yeah, poor Marvin Harrison Jr.,
I mean, where is he going to go at the bottom of the draft? It's there. He's going to go to Chicago.
Panthers probably wouldn't be terrible. Yeah.
Panthers, their pick from DJ Moore, their pick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they traded him. Yeah.
Was it with that or with something else? But the Bears have pick number 2 and pick number 3 right now.
Damn.
Because they have the Panthers pick. So, like, I don't know. Where would Marvin Harrison Jr. end up? That would be a good situation for him.
Maybe
You're usually
I
you're
don't
usually
know.
going to a crappy team.
Yeah. Well, damn.
So,
Brutal.
but as we mentioned, the Texans, red hot team. The whole league is watching CJ Stroud, more and more coverage on him every single week.
Well,
Do you see them as a playoff contender this year?
I think that may be a reach. But they're definitely a pretty good team, seems. I think maybe next year, depending. What is their? Let me see what they're.
They are currently sitting as the 7 seed.
So let's
And
see.
there is
Let's see. What can they do here for the rest of the way? Likely dub, likely dub, likely dub, likely dub, likely dub. Loss. Maybe another loss. Likely. I mean, they could easily lose only 3 games. That's pretty wild.
They've got what 5-4. So you're talking about 2 or 3 losses. What does that put them at? Like 11-6.
I would say, what do they have now? They have
12-5.
6, yeah, 6 or 7 losses, yeah, possibly total at the end of the season.
Wait, no, 11-6 or 10-7. That's potentially a playoff team.
Depending. Yeah. I mean, it's the AFC. I mean, the entirety of, well, maybe not, because the entirety of the AFC North will likely be in the playoffs, so they will be pushed out. Yes.
Right now, you have which division has more than, because the Bengals are now out of it, so we don't have everyone from the AFC North anymore.
That's right.
So who's got the extra one?
And those
right
two,
now?
and those two have a. Houston obviously has the head-to-head win there, so.
Oh wait, no, because there's no. I forget. There are 7 playoff teams now. Actually, right now, the Texans are the 7th team. I forget about that.
Yeah, still hard
so
to get used
as
to.
of right now, they are in playoff contention. I'm still thinking there's 6 teams.
Damn, that's pretty
you
good.
Just named off a lot of wins for them, so that would be a pretty drastic turnaround. A new coach. What was it? The number 2 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had the same thing that the Bears have. Didn't they have like number 2, number 3, and they picked Stroud and who's that defensive guy that they picked up? I'm trying to think of. But I see that they could very well be. I mean, if they keep things going, they have a lot of young, hungry players there. I don't see why they couldn't make the playoffs with the way that they're playing right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't really realize the back end of their schedule was so light, and they're doing very good. Unless they're getting hot very early and they cool off dramatically. Who's to say? Who knows? But yeah, they look pretty good. Looking pretty good. Pretty wild. Goddamn Ohio State quarterback too, huh? Looks like we have some technical difficulties with Chris over here.
All right, moving on. We have the Lions. They are really rolling this year. I mean, we expected good things from them. They are currently one of only 3 teams with 2 losses or less.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 being Philadelphia and Kansas City, last year's Super Bowl teams.
Yeah.
So do you think that the Lions are a Super Bowl contender? I mean, they've gone from not winning a playoff game since we were kids, not winning their own division since we were kids, to is it possible that they could be a Super Bowl contender this year?
I mean, why not? Right? If the only team they have really to face in the NFC, is the Eagles, it's like, why not? Because if they're playing in the NFC Championship, they have a 50-50 chance, right? That's not terrible to think about.
Yep.
But like their offense is pretty decent. Jared Goff looks like he wasn't an issue by any means. I just think Matt Stafford with the Rams made more sense, obviously, for them. But I mean, Jared Goff's leadership of what he's been able to do, plus like the defense is pretty stout. Obviously, I love my Aiden Hutchinson and Dan Campbell. They're just like playing for the dude, so why not?
Yeah, it's like as crazy as it is to think that the Lions in the Super Bowl, go back a few years ago, who would have thought the Bengals in the Super Bowl? They were a Super Bowl contender overnight. Like they went from being bottom of the league, picking first, getting Joe Burrow. 2 years later, because he obviously got hurt his rookie season, but the next year they're in the Super Bowl. So I guess it is possible.
And they should have won.
Yeah. Man, I really wish they would have. And like looking at the games that they lost to the Seahawks in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lost to the Ravens, who are right now on a hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
They went on the road last week and beat the Chargers. They beat the Bucks. They beat, to open the season, they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
In Kansas City.
Big one.
Made a statement right there from the start. So they are capable of beating some good teams. So as crazy as it sounds, I definitely think they could be there. I'd love to see them there this year.
Yeah, cool.
Obviously, I don't think my Bucks are going to make it this year. So with them being out, I'm gonna be rooting for the Lions once my Bucks get eliminated, whether that's in the regular season or first round of the playoffs, because that's about as far as they're going this year. I'll be rooting for them.
I mean, I would have to say I would probably be rooting for them as well. I really don't see an NFC team other than the Bucks that I'd really cheer for it this time. Like I'm not going to cheer for the Eagles by any means. That's a no go.
Least favorite NFC team, cannot root for them.
No go by any means. But yeah, that'd be great because again, I'd like to see Aiden Hutchinson put on a ring. That'd be cool. Dude's awesome. So
and especially with him being such an important part of that team, their defense has always been lackluster over the years. They've had some okay offenses throughout the years, but defense they've always struggled. And he is a huge playmaker for them on the defensive line. I think that's been a big reason why they've been able to turn things around.
For sure.
Dan Campbell, funny guy to watch. I could only imagine his week leading up to interviews of things he would have to say if they were to win it. The things he would have to say. That would be some fun. Most coaches' interviews are very boring, very straightforward, very just like
generic cookie cutter.
They say the same thing. Oh, that was a great team. They put out a great effort.
Yeah, they're a great team.
They're a great team. We just blew them out of the water by 50, but that's a really good football team.
We just wanted it more.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't realize someone didn't want to win the Super Bowl, so he would make for some good sound clips. It's been a while since we've had a really good coaching sound clip, with the, what's his name? The Colts guy with the playoffs one, or the other. I'm thinking about like Dennis Green.
Yeah.
Sounded off about they are who we thought. That we haven't had a really good coaching quote or someone going off in the deep end.
I mean, I
think he could provide that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, even college hasn't had one in a while. I think the last one was like early 2010s, which was the Coastal Carolina coach talking about you can't be no cats in the house. It's gonna be a dog. Like that one was hilarious. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, 40. Classic. Yeah, what was that? Mike Gundy.
Yeah. The OK State coach.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Was that him, Gundy? Yeah. Is he?
I think so.
It's one of those colleges I always forget exist until like there's like they play like Texas Tech or Oklahoma. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders played there. So, or wherever.
Put Dan Campbell in the spotlight for a full week. I am confident we will get a good sound clip out of him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But while things are looking up for the Detroit Lions, things are not looking so good for the Buffalo Bills. Oh, man, another tough game. They lost to Mr. Unlimited this week. Dropped to 5-5 on the year.
Yeah.
Things are not looking too good for them coming up. I mean, you got a Jets game, but the Jets beat them in the first game.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen there. I still expect Buffalo to win. But then you have games at the Eagles, at the Chiefs, and then you have to host the Cowboys. And they're 5-5 right now. They could easily be 6-8 by the time the next 4 games are up. So this was a team that I think last year people were like crowning them the preseason Super Bowl champions. They were on the rise. They were the hot pick for everybody. But as quickly as their time came, like, does it already feel like their Super Bowl window is done? Like it's Like we're going to be talking in a year or two from now, like they're in rebuild mode.
I think so. Because I think like after, I mean, I think if they leave or dummy, excuse me, if they don't win the or go to the playoffs, good lord, if they don't go to the playoffs this year, or win the Super Bowl. I mean, that's probably the most important thing. But I think even if they don't make the playoffs, I think Stephon Diggs will probably try to force his way out, and then you're like down the biggest receiver you could possibly have on your team, and then it's just like Gabe Davis and like someone else.
Yeah,
it's a big hit, and like defensive players are probably gonna leave too, because like, dude, I'm fucking doing all that I can, and like we ain't winning these games. Like, there's no offense, ain't putting no points, nothing's happening, so they'll leave. So I mean, yeah, I think the window's closing for sure. I think it was like what, 2 years ago is when it started to close, and Stephon Diggs was out there just like looking at them winning. Like that's when the window started to shut. You're like, hey, bro, that was yeah, that was the time.
We didn't realize it at the time, but yeah, that's when it was looking back. They were that close, and yeah, I think I agree with you. We see Stephon Diggs isn't very happy. Probably the best player on the team there, especially on offense. Him or Josh Allen. Josh Allen very turnover prone right now. And yeah, I could see him forcing his way out after this year, especially if they don't make almost if they don't make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I could see him saying, you know what? I'm out of here too. Because I mean, he kind of pushed his way. He lost his patience with Minnesota. They were not trending in the right direction. He got himself out of there. I could see him getting himself out of Buffalo. I don't know where he would go. Would
Dallas.
he try to? Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. That dude's going to try to go to Dallas. He wants to play with his brother. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because I'm thinking Dallas. I don't know are they ever going to win a Super Bowl either? If he's wanting to win, I feel like
there's always that belief. If I put the star on my helmet, I'm going to win that Super Bowl. There's always that belief for whatever reason. I don't get it. Like they put that star in their helmet. And they're like, bro, we're the best fucking team here. Like, are you though?
Yeah, let's look at your history. Let's look at your last 20 something years.
Yeah, for sure.
Took them forever just to win a playoff game there with all the talent they've had. I saw they got rid of their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's done. I think
he's now done.
Was it the quarterback coach? I forget who they. But yeah, I mean, I get it. There's no production. Sorry. We're trying to win around here. And
part of your job is to make sure that Josh Allen does not turn the ball over so much. Put him in the right position in practices, whatever, and it wasn't happening. So, yeah, I'm not too surprised to see that they let him go. I think they had to do that to show the team, like, we have to shake something up right now because the direction we're heading in right now is the wrong way. And if we don't do something now, this is a lost season and potentially, the window is going to slam shut on us right now. So they are already starting. So, and then lastly, we have to do our weekly 2 locks in an upset. A lot of good games in week 10, as we were talking about earlier. Now we move on to week 11 that looks to have some better matchups, some tougher matchups to pick possibly.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pick the first one, or you want me to pick the first one?
I'll go do the first one this time. I'll say I'll take first lock will be Cowboys over the Panthers. That's
10.5 point favorites. I don't see the Cowboys losing that game. I will go ahead and what do we have here? I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to go for a layup as well. For the first one and take Dolphins over the Raiders at home. Even though the Raiders have won 2 in a row, I'm still going to take the Dolphins over the Raiders.
Yeah, I think it's
probably this is going to be a real test.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like playing in an air conditioned building most of the time, and you come down here, it's still hot. It's still Florida, bro. Like, granted, it's
got some of that humidity.
Yeah, it sticks around. It stays.
Especially South Florida.
Mm-hmm. So for my next one here, I'm going to take them Lions over them Burrs, man.
Yeah, Lions over the Bears. Yeah, it's pretty. Another layup. I think that was.
There's a few layups at this point. I was looking at some of the stuff has changed since yesterday. So.
All right, for my second pick, I'm going to go with the Red Hot Texans over the Cardinals.
Yeah, solid, solid.
It just feels pretty good right there. And who are you going to go with for your upset of the week?
I am going to take my Brownies over the Steelers. Granted, it is a 1 point, but
I thought the Browns were favored in that game.
I see them. Oh shit! Yeah, it has changed. It was the other way around. Did losing Deshaun improve their odds?
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah, I guess so. Um, let's see here. Well, it kind of throws me for a little spin ski here. Why don't you go ahead and do yours since I have to now readjust fire here.
I'll go with the Vikings over the Broncos as my upset pick, as the Broncos are, now that they've also gotten red hot, are favored by 2.5. So I will take Josh Dobbs and the Vikings to keep rolling in Denver.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna take the Rams over the Seahawks. I think Matt Stafford came back, and Seahawks ain't looking too good, man.
Yeah, they're just looking okay. They've always been good at home. Never a great road team, though. So that could be a good pick right there.
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. That will do it. That will wrap us up for our week 10, week 11 show.
Yeah, 11.
Yep. And before we head out, do you have any final thoughts for our viewers going into this week?
Yeah, I think on Friday, Harbaugh gets to talk to the court, and he's going to burn the Big Ten to the ground, and I'm very excited about it. No, I hope that the Big Ten ceases to exist. Oh, dude, he's diming everyone out. I guarantee it. It's gonna be awesome. It's like, if you're taking me down, I'm fucking taking you all with me.
Awesome. I will keep an eye out on that. All right. Well, that will do it for us. See y'all next week.